Your alarm goes off at 8 a.m. You hit snooze, then drag yourself out of bed, brush your teeth, splash some water on your face, and head downstairs to make coffee. Same as every morning. You grab your keys, open the front door, and step outside. The street is empty. Not quiet morning empty, not Sunday at 6 a.m. empty. Actually, genuinely empty. No cars, no distant engines, no one walking a dog, no school bus rumbling past. Just the sound of birds and a gentle breeze. You figure there's some kind of road closure, maybe a local event, something you missed on the news, so you get in your car and drive. 20 minutes through your city and you don't see a single person. Traffic lights change for nobody. A coffee shop with the lights on and a fresh pot still brewing behind an empty counter. You pull out your phone and call your mom. It rings out. You call your best friend. Same thing. You try 911 and it just rings and rings into silence. And somewhere in that silence, you realize this isn't a road closure. Every single human being on Earth, all 8 billion of them, is just gone, and you're the only one left. So, what do you actually do? Honestly, you probably stand in the middle of the street for a while, just staring. Then comes the spiral. You drive to your parents' house, and it's empty. Your friend's apartment? Empty. Back to your own place just to confirm you're not losing your mind. And for a few hours, it's pure terror. But then something shifts because there's a thought that creeps in after the panic, a very specific, very human thought that you'd be lying if you said you didn't have. The world is, quite literally, my oyster. You could walk into the fanciest restaurant you've ever seen, sit down at the best table, and eat cereal straight out of the box in complete silence with nobody looking at you funny. You could take the nicest car off any lot, drive it through the middle of New York City as fast as it'll go with every lane completely clear, and just keep going. No destination, no speed limit, no reason to stop. And at the end of the day, you could sleep in the actual throne room at Buckingham Palace, crown jewels on the nightstand, the whole impossible, ridiculous weight of it just sitting there in the dark with you. You are the most powerful, most ungoverned human being who has ever existed. But while you're roaming the earth fulfilling your most outlandish desires, something else is already happening. Something you can't see yet, but that started the moment the last person disappeared. First off, your phone dies around hour 6, even sooner if you don't have the newest iPhone. Cell towers run on backup batteries, and once those drain, there's no signal, no internet, nothing. And that's actually the least of it, because by day 3, the power grid is gone too. The grid isn't something that runs itself, it needs constant human hands keeping it balanced. Without those, it starts failing within 24 to 72 hours, which takes water pumping stations with it, which takes refrigeration, which means that within 4 days, virtually every perishable food on Earth is gone, and you're suddenly living on whatever canned goods you can find in the dark. Another thing nobody wants to think about are the 440 nuclear reactors that need continuous human management to stay stable. And without it, a significant number of them eventually fail. This wouldn't lead to an extinction event, but would cause enough meltdowns across continents to make large parts of the world dangerous for decades. What's even more strange, and almost unfair given everything else, is that while all of that is happening, the planet is quietly doing the opposite. Pollution drops, rivers clear, animals wander back into cities like they never left. Within a year, plants are breaking through pavement. Within a decade, forests are taking the suburbs back. The world doesn't need us, it turns out. It was just too polite to say so while we were here. And then there's what's happening inside your head, which no model can fully capture. Humans are the most socially wired species on the planet, and the part of your brain that processes loneliness is literally the same region that processes physical pain. Studies on solitary confinement show cognitive decline within weeks and hallucinations within months, and that's with the knowledge that other humans exist somewhere beyond the walls. You wouldn't even have that, just you, an empty planet, and a brain that was built over hundreds of thousands of years to need other people, quietly running out of the thing it was designed to run on. Most people assume they'd adapt, that their survival instinct would kick in, that human resilience would carry them through. But the research suggests the will to survive is deeply tied to the sense that surviving is for something. Take away every other person on Earth, and that calculation changes in ways that are genuinely hard to predict until you're standing in it, alone, in the world's emptiest city, on day 400, wondering if the sound you just heard was the wind or the beginning of something worse. So let's be honest about what you actually have here. By hour 6, your phone is dead. By day 3, the lights are out and the taps are dry. By week 2, the nuclear situation is developing in ways nobody wants to think about. By month 3, the planet has already started quietly erasing every trace that any of this ever happened. And somewhere in year 1, you're living in a farmhouse, talking to a dog you found, eating whatever you managed to stockpile, simultaneously the richest and most comprehensively alone human being who has ever lived, with access to every yacht, every palace, every Ferrari on Earth, and absolutely nowhere to go. The entire world is yours, and there is genuinely nothing to do with it. So, tomorrow morning your alarm goes off, the street sounds like it always does, and somewhere nearby your neighbor is doing that thing with the leaf blower at 7 a.m. And maybe that's fine. Maybe that's actually the whole point. Or you could hit snooze, pull the covers back over your head, and deal with the end of civilization later. Honestly, either works.